I'm not happy, and I'm grumpy.
These are the words that best describe Priscilla Miller when she has to go without.
I can't even wait for it to fill up.
Her routine is like most moms. She gets her son ready for school.
You want a peanut butter sandwich too?
Wrangles the dog.
Jack Henry!
And pours another cup.
Okay, I'm gonna sit and finish my coffee and then we can go.
She has 2 cups of Java first thing in the morning, and then another.
Here we go, off to school.
On her walk with Miles.
Come on, Jack. I love you. Bye.
Time for her 4th. Priscilla drinks Folgers, but she has a different jingle to go along with her joke.
Red, blue cup, I'll fill you up with my coffee. Coffee has its purpose for me. It's to wake me up, but it's also enjoyable.
It's the caffeine that perks people up, and it comes in all kinds of forms. Pills, shots, and what seems like a million different flavors of energy drinks. You've heard of Red Bull, right?
You ever had a Red Bull? I never had a Red Bull before, but I had a Red Bull last night. I really like Red Bull.
Once you start to get more than 200 milligrams a day, you begin to have some problems typically.
And it's really not that hard. Let's say you have a cup of coffee in the morning. That's 100 milligrams of caffeine. Let's say with lunch you drink a soda. That's 35 milligrams of caffeine. And maybe mid-afternoon you need a pick-me-up. So an energy drink like this is 160 milligrams. And just like that, we've reached 300 milligrams. And these are pretty regular serving sizes. Now Priscilla, she's consuming 400 milligrams before she even gets to work, and doesn't stop there.
And I'm a little shaky, but it's okay. Hi, Sandra. Good morning. This is Priscilla from
I
the
see
Chamber of
patients
Commerce.
often
How
in
are
my
you?
practice that come to me because their heart rate's high and because they're feeling palpitations in their chest and they're worried about it.
Caffeine is a drug, available over the counter, and for the most part, unregulated by the FDA. The newest forms, though, inhalables, worry medical professionals like Dr. Gabriel Neal even more.
Inhalers, some of them are delivering 150 milligrams. You can very easily deliver 1,000 milligrams. I mean, 10 hits is really easy. Much harder than, say, drinking 10 cups of coffee.
I got Snickers and a monkey mug.
You can die from an overdose of caffeine.
Most people don't die, but can become dependent, like Priscilla.
Every morning I wake up with a headache. So I have to have that caffeine to chase the headache away.
Any relationship with caffeine can become toxic.
Coffee's my friend.
A friend that keeps Priscilla happy, from the first drop to her 7th cup.
Okay.
Alex Villarreal, News 3. Imagine waking up and immediately knowing something is wrong.
I just heard the rain hitting the windows in ways that it shouldn't be. You know, I heard all this rain. It sounded almost like rocks being thrown up against the windows.
Melinda Smith and her children were sleeping at their home off County Road 147 in Burleson County when the storm hit.
Of course, I couldn't see anything.
She had no
And at
idea
that moment,
it was a tornado.
I could feel the back door of our house just kind of heave in as a large gust of wind. I screamed for the kids to run for the bathroom.
The winds in this area were blowing 80 miles per hour. And to give you an idea of how powerful that is, right now our camera's sitting on the ground and I'm waist deep in this hole left by this uprooted tree.
My daughters were in the house and they heard me saying, oh my God, and I didn't realize that I was probably screaming.
Trees fell inches away from their house. The siding's been peeled off, blowing in the wind. This pile of bricks used to be an outdoor shed. It collapsed while the family dog, Ginger, was inside.
She was alive, but I felt so much guilt and relief at the same time that she was kissing me and licking me on the face and she was okay.
Melinda says she's fine with replacing the metal roofing that's now taken up residence in the trees and getting a new shed that isn't leaning sideways, because what's really important can't be replaced.
The kids are fine, I'm fine. The husband didn't have a heart attack when I told him, and no traumatic effects. We slept fine the next night. We were so tired.
Alex Villarreal, News 3.
I feel a little better. No, that ain't there.
Edward Yeomans is talking about his 3 next-door neighbors who stayed at the house on 1006 Burt Street in Bryan.
Yeah, this is a pretty close neighborhood. I don't know everyone's names, but I do know them by face. I know where they live. And every now and then we'd be walking down the road and we'd stop and talk.
Bryan police and several other task forces got a tip this location was a meth lab. 37-year-old Randolph Miller, 29-year-old Jessica Navarre, and Reynaldo Rios Jr., who is 26, are being held for possession of a controlled substance in a drug-free zone. Rios is also facing several other charges, including tampering with evidence and evading arrest.
Seen the red lights through my bedroom window, and I came out here and seen all the cop cars, SWAT and all that.
A special DPS investigations group came into town from Houston to clear out and test the hazardous chemicals found inside. Some did test positive for methamphetamines.
Yeah, there are people coming and going all the time, but it's quiet.
Edward has lived on this street for 14 years and says he's happy he and his neighbors are no longer breathing in dangerous chemicals.
Don't like it next door and glad it's gone.
Ready, go.
There's no shortage of PE time for College Station ISD students.
Stay on your feet.
But nationwide, only 30% of schools are offering daily gym classes because of budget cuts.
It's frustrating, it's scary, some days it makes you angry.
28 years and Alice Keys is still in the game as the physical education teacher at Southwood Valley Elementary. Walking down the hall, going from one class to another, it only takes several minutes, but some school districts are counting this toward PE time because of cutbacks. The state recommends schools provide 135 minutes of PE time a week for students. CSISD provides 150 minutes per week, plus recess time.
I always say exercise is food for the brain.
Another difference at College Station campuses, daily motor labs where students perform basic movement skills like hula hooping and jump rope.
Kids aren't doing that anymore, and as a result, it's beginning to show not only in physical education class, but it's showing in the classroom with their reading skills, their writing skills, fine motor, gross motor. We relate that to, where else do you see columns and rows? And the kids will tell you, in math.
Can you guys solve for X? Can you model it?
A study published in the Archives of Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine found that students who participated in an additional 90 minutes of exercise each week wound up with higher grades than those who didn't.
If they learn to love it at this age, they will continue to learn to love it, and we want them to be movers and shakers throughout their lives.
Alex Villarreal, News 3.
We have been here about 45 minutes now, so we'll be here about an hour and a half when they show up.
In Leona,
5 till 1.
residents wait to welcome home a hero.
I have 125.
However, it's not the type of homecoming anyone wanted.
There's just no greater love than you can show to lay down your life for, in this case, your country.
Today is one of the last times Leona will see Sergeant Wade Daniel Wilson.
It's just sad.
22-year-old Marine was killed during combat in Afghanistan 1 week ago.
And think about his mother, what she's going through. I can't even imagine.
Jet SEAL, like many, didn't even know Wilson.
Just beginning to live.
But she knows the sacrifice he paid for his country.
I think it takes a strong person to do that. Somebody gives their life for your country.
In this small town, it's an appreciation that will last a lifetime.
The flags that you see all up and down the highway, the yellow ribbons that's all up and down the highway.
And beyond.
Every bit of that is just a minuscule thing of how much we do support them. But all together, it makes a big thing.
In Leona, Daniel Armbruster, News 3.